to do some investigation work. Hopefully we get into into
狭い部屋の片隅、深い闇の中でホームズと私は息を潜めて待っていた。やがて通気口からシューシューと低くうなるような音が聞こえてきた。その瞬間、突然ホームズが飛び出して闇の一点をステッキで鋭く打ち据えた。見たかワトソン。ホームズの張り詰めた声が空気を震わす。私がランプの遮光板を上げると、部屋の情景がぼんやり浮かび上がった。ホームズは部屋の隅を睨みつけて、私に向かってつぶやくように言った。被害者が死の間際に言い残したまだらの紐という謎の言葉。その恐ろしい正体こそがこいつだったのだよ、ワトソン。そこには巨大な毒蛇が牙をむき、威嚇するようにとぐろを巻いていた。それは世にも恐ろしいまだらの紐だった。
Sherlock Holmes. 9th January. 9th January. 6:30. Oh fuck, man. Ooh, look at that.
それでは謎解きを始めるとしようか。
Ooh, high tech
こ
man.
の奇怪なる殺人事件、その真相をね。失礼。犯行時、扉は内側から缶抜きがかかっていた。缶抜きに細工された痕跡はない。犯行の際、この現場は完全な密室状態だったわけだ。被害者は死の間際にメッセージを残したようだ。ここに落ちているインクを使って書いたと考えられる。ロシア語。どうやら被害者はロシア人ということか。文字に全く乱れは感じられない。被害者は相当意志が強かったのだろう。見たことのない妙な文字だな。筆跡はこのメッセージとは明らかに違う。いや、これはむしろ人種が違うと断言してもいいかもしれない。札を貼ったのは犯行時間の直前、被害者自身だったようだな。ほう、これは
一体貴様は何なんだ。好き勝手しやがって。
そうです。海洋警察が到着するまで現場に手を触れず待つべきだ。
その必要はない。どうやら今から5秒以内に諸君を犯人に紹介できそうだ。
バカを言うな。殺人現場だぞ。しかも奇怪な密室殺人だ。
それでは密室の謎、その封印を解くとしましょうか。
まさかその中に犯人が。
一体君は何者なのだ。僕は大英帝国が誇る世界の名探偵なのです。シャーロック・ホームズ。もしかして知らないとか。
Okay, I just have to say, did that picture just came out of his ass? Or did that came out from his backpack? Wait, is this Ryunosuke? My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Where am I? What the fuck? What? Wait, I can't move. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Did we get caught again? What the? Why am I in handcuffs? Oh. You're awake now, hmm? Oh no. Okay, I thought I was Sherlock, man. We had to drag you out. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I cannot believe how you couldn't not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You. Ha. You found me then. We found you. And now, you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now that you have been found, it is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is. No. I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh, it's okay. It's Susato, man. Why? Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato. Wait. What did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Wait, did we kill No way. No way. Huh, you pretended you don't know? You are a wolf in a sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not too long ago. Here, in this very cabin, it was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us what you were doing in this terrible, something. Oh man, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think Yes, I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. What? No. No! Kazuma. It's just like it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get into trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else would you come to England with me to study? Yes, I didn't. Oh my god. Kazuma is dead. Our best friend is dead. Fuck, man. It was really something else when they brought your luggage earlier in here. Though, the way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case on the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'll be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I was going to break every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling that those Russians won't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. But what I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your closest friend, more to the point, surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'll give me away. No, but if she knew what we've done, then would make her guilty by association. It's best that you, that only you and I know about this. Hmm? I suppose so. Anyways, it's about time that the steward. Wait, anyways, it's about time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. So it's the steward then. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be long. And anyways, compared to hiding in my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason, then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't we write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe door once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this even happen? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We'll leave you at the next spot. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Duh, you said it before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there's something I would like to ask you too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is to find out what really happened. About the incident. Wait, how did no? We need to know about the incident. What really happened around here? Can anyone tell me what actually happened in here, in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. Okay. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I nodded, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a few of the crew members. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-san, collapsed on the floor. Okay. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I have no idea anything that actually happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me. Kazuma's death. He really was... He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs... They think I did it? They think that that Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped through the four walls. What? Or, to put it in another way, the culprit can only have been someone inside this cabin. Or, do you have some other explanations? This is impossible. How did he die then? What exactly happened? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Usato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So, presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then? That's true, yes. Now that I've told you everything that I know. So, it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Stow away. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma's cabin for so long without him noticing? No. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma-san invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. Actually ask you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, but what do you want? Why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that has been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I've told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a great talent for it, I can assure you that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can they? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do it with you. Yes, maybe. Somehow something's still bothering me a little. the look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san? I'm sorry that I kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean. If I knew Kazuma-sama, I expected he was truly to protect me, to avoid me from being guilty by association. She gets it. That's exactly right. Yes. Word perfect in fact. Last night. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in the cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, and just like I always did, after that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out what exactly happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how, and why they did it. So, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Wow, some judo skills right there. What the? That was a Susato takedown. Susato... What? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to do... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in the court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves that I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Yes, I know. Cause... Okay. So what happened is... If the paper seal is stuck in front of the door, then how can I put it in? Like, how can I put the paper seal on the door from the inside? Genius move. 100% tactic right there. Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always puts it in place whether I want to sleep in there, just in case the cabin stewardess or another crew member decides to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah, yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I truly was the culprit, I couldn't have climbed inside the wardrobe and stuck it over the outside doors, on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are truly sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you can help me up? That's cool, man. Well, in light of that evidence, I do not see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you! So you finally believe me? Sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back into place. How the fuck? Does she think I am? A magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Sato-san. Please, don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching over you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you to use your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyways, I should make a start of investigating in here, examine everything that I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Okay, let's examine. There's a chicken wing. That's my dinner from last night. A roasted chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like the chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it? Which meant all the more for me. Oh no! Does that mean Kazuma-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? Oh no. It's just too horrible. Oh no, he didn't get his dinner. His last supper. His last meal on Earth wasn't his supper. It was his lunch. Oh no, so sad. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an aching stomach. I can't, man. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Wait, what? Oh. I'm sure you're careful to look around wait, shit. I'm sure you're careful to look all around using B&M, aren't you? Why is it so like... Why is it such like... weird controls? Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Why is it such a weirdness? I can just use this, can't I? Yeah, I can. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Nyet. Nyet. Of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. You seem a little flustered. I see. It's a knife. That's my dinner from last night, a roasted chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But... oh no, I already... So... it's not the knife then. That's done, that's done. That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows how that goes to show how just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. What a sad turn of events. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. So, this is it. It's this one? The tablecloth, maybe? There's nothing on this table at all. The plates and cutleries are all over the floor for some reason. Yes, that's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. Ooh, shit. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama. No. So chicken. This doesn't show me. Okay, this shows me. Seiji, a Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet, can you really look at those characters without feeling ashamed, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on the ship. Hey, now you're gonna bring that up? Are you? I can't win. I hope they get married soon. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. And what's the other piece? The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Natsuki fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. he wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? And the marks beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the room. Where else would it be? The door. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt has been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there wouldn't be nowhere to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everybody suspects me. Oh, fuck me. When she glares at me like that, I feel so tensed up and I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit uses a needle and tried to draw a bolt across the outside from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself, but the door of this cabin and its frames are made of metal. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I can feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Okay. Understandable. What's this? These are the rules of passage for travel across the SS Beria. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or any other dangerous objects in the cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. So we have broken 2 rules, I guess? What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I knew it. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Dangerous object. The books have fallen over the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea. Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mowed down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma's doing his morning SWAT training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and statues. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Wait, why is she touching? It's. Why is she rearranging it? No, you can't, man. That's a precious piece of evidence. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes. I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Oh. Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked over the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. But there's no blood. Why is it? Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It was almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I just can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-sama. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign scripture I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Russian, maybe? It looks Russian. Maybe it is Russian, but we don't know. This is where Kazuma-sama would have said whenever he was writing. London Diary. For Kazuma, didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means... what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could have been a very valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama would have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. What if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I will read it. Alright, I won't read it, okay. Oh, Kazuma-sama. We're not like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Anything else? They would tell me if there's anything else, right? It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although, it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never really know when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. This is, yes, Isabel contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read it in a book when I was studying that talks about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you could pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a try? Yes. In the interest of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No. I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. There's a vent. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate in the cabin. Isn't that a bit odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it's been connected to the door, the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should have been connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps that's so that the rain and spray doesn't find their way in when the seas are rough or something like that. I suppose maybe that's it. Wait, when did he come in? What the fuck? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You noticed the man too, haven't you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And he is investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk to him. Am I just imagining it, or did Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press space on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Wait, how does Sherlock Holmes sounds like? This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone? Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be the best. Greetings! I hope I had... Oh shit. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Ha! Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes! Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deduction have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceived. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards a foreign clime, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really it was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You have 16 victims of us. I can't take him seriously now. Oh fuck, man. You have 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now traveling to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. Huh? And when the very boned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the fact beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, aren't you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So, it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's a shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's... Hiya! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. End this, please. I don't want to be... Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary. Obviously. Oh, give me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You weren't just saying the first thing that came into your head. Haha! Ah yes, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder, so I'm not really sure you could call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, and observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My methods is founded by the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with brass certitude. And more often than not, I am right. Ha! I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to man and woman the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes. The very same. That word, actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you really know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san. Son, of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. I haven't. What planet have I been living on then? We must ask him what he deduced. We'll have to work out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Can I converse? I can converse. Great detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? So, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, was it? No, no, no. I have no her. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am! And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistakes, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backwards. Backwards? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? Wait! I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fascinately busy of late. Why, this very moment, I have returned from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its most purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer noticed even the most subtle of reaction in his subjects. A furtive glance, a twitch of muscle, a slight incline of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all of these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deduction from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn, both for observation and for deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Can you please tell me about Kazuma's death? Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow! Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right! It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in this now because of him? Are you kidding me? When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself amongst the numbers, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes! Luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And the handcuff seems to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? What's these two facts, man? Mr. Holmes, tell us please. What two facts were apparent to you when we came into this cabin this morning? Ah yes, but first, let us be precise. Two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The true facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1. The cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2. The victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Oh, hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What makes you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim of the floor. Wait, yeah. Oh, it's... Wait, is it Russian? Oh, yeah, it looks Russian. Is it Russian? Yeah, it is Russian. That is Russian. That's a Russian word for wardrobe. Actually, I want to know how does that sound?
Wardrobe.
Okay, that's wardrobe.
Гардероб.
Garderobe. Garderobe is a word in Russian for wardrobe. Do you really think that Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
Гардероб.
Garderobe. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think that oh no, this is done. This is done deal. ZZ. In the final moments, many find their native tongue filling their heads. For this young man, Russian. He's not Russian, he's Japanese. Toes. You want to see feet? Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I consider Garderobe may be the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, maybe. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. There, where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if memories... Wait, they just save on me. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I have no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze if for possible hidden detail. Look at our friend. Who could have killed my boy? Could have killed my boy. Our boy. They killed and massacred our boy. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma has been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I actually seen him like this. Wait, the back kanji. This one, yeah. They did say this is made by This was made by Kazuma. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court records. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russian before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Ah yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Do you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Yeah, certainly. Wait, oh, is it of course? Wait, I want to know. Of course, I can explain it to you. How many times? I'm not Russian. I don't speak Russian. Your deduction right now. Just now.
Bye.
Thank you, Mika, for looking. My shit-eating grin is coming out. Can you tell about your deduction before? The thing you concluded about me, I think. The most famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other detail that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassination of 16 part? Yes, the most sordid detail. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. What you mean? Only that, but I'm broke. Hi, broke. I am dead. I am Nan. Here we have the morning paper. The main headline reads, "But he's captured already." It's not even us, man. Do we look alike? Nah, I'm more handsome than that. No, I'm less handsome than that. With that, I don't have a magnificent beard like his. Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. But we were from Japan. This vessel made a port called a Shanghai. Oh. Okay. Hi, Mika. This vessel made a port called at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sherlock has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-san wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No. How could it be me? I don't even look like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary at all, after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passengers list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of the assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? He was so... You should have seen the cinematic. He was so goddamn clean. He's like he was so cool in the opening cinematic when we were first introduced to him. Like the cinematic for the opening chapter. But now he's super dumb. Why? I want him to be the cool and collected person, man. Yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all of those particulars in the article. The deeds of the man was perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. The revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returning after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyways? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. The articles of the revolutionary has been entered into the court records. And you may find the article on the back page of of interest as well. On the back, cast your eye over it sometime if interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two? Well, you were just investigating. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah yes, the victim! Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desk of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic! And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Thank you, Chrono, for contributing. How we're like 6k more. We can do it. We can make it. How's work going, by the way, Chrono? Susato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedown? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyways, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author was cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of this writing? Pray be precise as to detail. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Ha! But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here is Kazuma's diary. In Kazuma's diary, it consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. Well, looks like some sort of spangled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Spangled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. Spangled band is like a snake, I guess? A ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court records. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. But do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our mind rebels at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we can go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, this. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter, no? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided that I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Are you shitting on my nuts? What the fuck? You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know? Not really. So what? You were looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyways, there was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your This guy is a fraud. This man is misguided. Why is he a detective? Can I report Can I report him to someone to get his license revoked at least? No, he's just being plain rude. Yes, man. Where was that? Oh. This man is sus, man. And off he goes, just having laughed in my face. His sense of humor as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? You must go investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about this? There's no way. Hiya! After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up. You're just going to roll over and accept your fate. As if you gave me any choice to roll over, part. I think we have some investigation to finish off in the first place, don't we? Good idea. Situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things that I could do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I could find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. Is that? Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I'm chewing on pearls. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir? Hey, it's Hosunaka. Yes. What can I do for you? I recognize that face, but it can't be. Ahem. It is! I didn't know that you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special order to go undercover as a member of the crew and board the ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. Yes. If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. He's like Detective Gumshoe. You know, in like the Ace Attorney games. I mean, this is an Ace Attorney game, but the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games, Detective Gumshoe was like the detective that we keep seeing. Converse. Special orders. So, what about your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi's bodyguard. It was a Minister of Justice, Jigoku, who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi's son reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even been a possibility? I'm not sure, but there are complicated times. These are tensions between the world's greatest power. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated. Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi's son a viable security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I've never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I could do to help now, just say the word. Permission to investigate, sir. We've done what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed to get out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you were to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with? Do you think I'm going to need something persuasive? What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'll do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. I really, I'll lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me on your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence. It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, oh shit. Okay, thank you KK for looking. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. What do we have though? This maybe? Can I show you this newspaper, Inspector? I'm sorry, but I can't read Russian very well. Oh no, that's all right. I know what it says. So you just wanted to point out that your university level linguistic talents, is that it? Sorry? Nothing like me. With my regular schooling, you're something much greater. Is that what you're trying to say? Sorry, forget I mentioned it. This one? Present this. This is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors in the morning, is it? That's right, to try to stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like this are part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. Is it that easy being a stowaway? Is it? Really? There's nothing? Really? Is it this one? Don't know, I'm just testing out everything. Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a Fable Imperial Yume University pin badge? I'm not sure if it's really Fable exactly, but... So, you're a genuine student then? Sorry? Nothing like me, with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you're trying to say? Can I have my badge back, please? Oh, is this one? Okay. What's this? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange. In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of spangled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A spangled band? That is strange. Yes. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I would like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if you could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the spangled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at this moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs though. But what about the captain? Ah, that's cute. That's really cute, man. But what about the captain? Are you gonna go against his direct orders? I am. I'm a man of my word. And I promised you that I'll lay my life on the line if that is what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least that I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Hey buddy. There's something on the floor. Looks like a... What's that? Finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, that isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation? Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on his study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? It must be awful. Oh. Look over there. It's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he's sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose, like people in handcuffs? Naruto-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you would be used to this ship by now. You've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came on board. And even since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Okay, can I examine? I want to see the ship. This looks like a plan for the SS Burrier. It shows each deck. Look. The Burrier is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, but actually... How is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Ah! It's how the force of the ship, like the weight of the ship, is being dispersed. The weight of the ship is being dispersed through the convex. Is it convex or concave? Convex. Like convex nature. And how the water supports the I don't know, but it's actually incredible how ships and planes work. Even computers work. Like, marvelous. That's how I'm streaming to you guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, considering the Japanese archipelago, islands of Japan, yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship. And they don't sink, do they? They are floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. It's not just floating though. Wait, do you... Okay, I know that this is like old, like something old. Like there's a old video about how I think one of the politician, a government politician, thought that having having more people in the country, like if they overpopulate the country, the sh- the country is just gonna flip over and capsize. So stupid, man. It's not a floating island. It's basically a part of the earth. You get me? Are you shitting on my... Yes, it would flip over, yes. Having too many people on the country, in the country, would flip the country over. I don't know if I still can find the video, but that's how I remembered it. And they don't sing, do they? They just... okay. Well, I suppose so. Even Susato-san, like, I... yeah, it's like, it's, you know, it's like the Club Penguin iceberg flip. There's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pen next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? Ah, the writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. Hmm? You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such a beautiful handwriting. The penmanship though, ooh baby. And nothing, no reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyways, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there were nothing to report? I get you. Nothing here. I know that there's something on the floor here. Okay, there's a fire, There's a fire bell, fire alarm. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? Hehe. That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm? It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and bring the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, and... Naruhodo-san, you mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. Ha! I wish everything would just stop, the ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Yeesh. So that's our door, this next door. And there's something on the floor. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called, cheese. It's made from the milks of cows. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. tastes awesome. You should try it. Parmesan is good. I want pizza now. Maybe cheese bubble tea. I don't know. Have you tried cheese bubble tea before? I haven't tried it, but I want to try it. I feel like I don't want to waste my money. I've heard that it's salty, it's salty sweet. So like pretzel ice cream or fries dipped in vanilla cone. You can't eat it, Naruhiro-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? What I have to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Oh, you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Okay, then I'll talk to the sailor, maybe. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Or was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask you something of you? You little third-class lady maid. Wow. Oh. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I'm not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman. Beef Stroganoff. Phew. That's the best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. First class cabin area? Mr. Stroganoff, about this first class cabin area. Here we are in the finest part of Bergia steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings, queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering if the cabin next door to Mr. Asogi currently occupied. Da. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is someone in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it seems tantalizing. Passenger next door. Could you tell us who's traveling in the next door cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsey Roylet. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. You have nothing to do with murder of student boy. Can you be sure about that? Mr. Roylet is authentic Western gentleman. Such men would not have interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East islands. Yeesh, that was harsh. Could you tell us about when Mr. Roylet came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first class cabins, he must be rather important, is that right? That is not your business. Okay, guess so. Eesh. Are you gonna watch here all the time, Mr. Seaman Stroganoff? No, all the time. So criminals like you could not come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is said about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you not notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Kid! Is it yet? Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no. Nyet. So nothing unusual, nothing at all. And didn't you hear any strange noise? Or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said, no. Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. So he saw something. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh? It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as the English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Oh. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. So we can actually check everything. So even the door. I'm guessing we can search the door now. Since her lock shows is inside there. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-san wrote that he saw a spangled band emerging. Maybe whoever is in the cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must be a woman. Stand aside. Where were you? Were you like behind us? I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is in on me, I'll reveal in kicking doors off their hinges. I revel. Okay. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuces can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Come on, let's go. You, oh shit. Who are you? A Western gentleman. This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there is nobody but me in this cabin. True. Wait. Doesn't the ventilate... Oh, is the other side. Okay. True, this old man does appear to have the... Appears to be the only person in here. Wait, then how does the... Wait. Oh, it's on the other side of the room. Wait. Oh yeah, it's on the other side of the room. Wait, since the door is here, then we can't... What the fuck? Shouldn't we like facing the other way? But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but Mr. Grimsley Roylet, I believe... Yes, that's me. And you are? I'm the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You heard of me, no doubt? No. I am a great detective, I'm a great detective amongst great detectives. One who adores the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you must trust me completely. The man uses the magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detective. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? There's no way that a person is inside there. No way. What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it is quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. It's moving. Oh my. Did you see that, Mr. Naruto? Yes. The case just shook. Leave now. Otherwise, I call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylet. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. He's the guy. He's the assassin. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Why is he in the cupboard? What the fuck? What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin. Get out! Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! Ha! What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more that we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylet? So I need to ask him? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need to only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. No, this is... Wait, as in, it's not Phoenix Wright, it's, hello, Ash. How are you? How are you today? No, but this is... If you're talking about, like, the first Ace Attorney Chronicles, yes, it's the first one. If you're talking about Ace Attorney Chronicles, it's the first one, but it's not Phoenix Wright. It's Ace Attorney, like how there's Apollo Justice and Mouse Edgeworth and whatever. Yeah. Hey, Mika's still here. Oh wait, yeah, KK was the one that left. I wonder if she's still there. Yeah, she's still there. Ooh. Why, I was resting, of course. I went to my game. Okay. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage for the confines of this wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh. And it would seem that the hour is upon us. The time has come. Yes, you saw. It's been a while. I wanted to like resume Ace Attorney, but I kept like playing other games. I suck. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylet, is clearly hiding, trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what you're about to see may as well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective greatness, greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be more heckled-eye portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? For time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I have no idea what the fuck. I really don't think either of those really should be occurring to you or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering into my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylet, I have reached two inconceivable conclusions. Shouldn't it be one? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are able to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment, no less in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth shivers with nervousness, tension, as you really realize you have been discovered. Does he not? Oh, Naruhodo-san, I've never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Shom's great deduction with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about this person. What? What? Ineffable twaddling. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the great adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the colors have drained from Mr. Roylet's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sherlock. Thank you, Ash, for 2K. We're so close. We're so close, man. Looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. Oh, how could I possibly know such things you wish to say? Very well then, I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through our deductions together. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Topic 1. Old man's identity. Conclusion. Oh. Wow, this is something. So the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylet, obviously, what catches the eyes in the first place? That's right! His beard, oh no, his scissors, is the enormous pairs of shears in his hands. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you spot. Are you joking? This man is... his reasoning is on point, but his... like, the way that he gets to it is so wrong. Now, moving on. The question then begs is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylet? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on this matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front page article. Okay, he's quite right there. Which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylet. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is that article about the revolutionary. Wait, that's not him. Okay, that's not him. That's not him. Mr. Roylet isn't the revolutionary. Because because you can see his mouth. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of this article possesses an extreme copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand? No, you're wrong. Whose style? Herlock Sholmes. Yeah, I like his style too, but he's so gone, man. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there! Oh yes, Mr. Roylet. Taken unaware, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtivous glance falls. The proof of your crimes sit before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. No, it's a cat. It's a cat. He has a cat. Or a dog. Or poodle. I don't know. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly have concealed inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady perhaps, one slightly enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the travelling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'eau betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your previous glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeting revolutionary to the back pages, renowned prima ballerina of the Novavic ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of adoption. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. This man full of dramatics, man. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky? Sato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you see. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here for a moment? Damn, look at his dressing, man. Ooh. Pray, what I can do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we have the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Ah yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well, able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness, Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you. That's not the point. Another thing, the part about him adopting the ballerina? Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is clearly too small. Clearly! You'll be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you push really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. She's illegal. No, I don't know. No, I don't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain lethalness in their body. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes? This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deduction just now. I think his powers of observations are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Mr. Susato. It's just one of two key words in his deduction that seems to let him down. So I was wondering if we could perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? switch some keywords in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'll unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholm's great deduction. Precisely the thought that I was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work, man. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist? Voila! What the fuck? Where's my handcuffs? Huh? How? How did... I thought that they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles of your own wrist when you are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'll rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Oh my god. So the dubious looking Russian Mr. Roylet, obviously what catches the eyes in the first place. Okay, is the big shears, okay. Pairs of shears. No, it's scissors. Now, wait, no. Can we go back? No, we can't. The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using those shears to cut away the copious beard you spot. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? No, it's scissors. I know there's something... Wait, is it scissors or is it shears? I know shears are bigger, but scissors can also be that big. I don't there's something I've ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylet either. Which means I suppose that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps the matter. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long hard look at Mr. Roylet. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intends to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better. Paper. Maybe. Then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. What am I supposed to do with something? Okay. Well, anyways, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in the last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylet really going to use those enormous shears for? For paper? Really? Wait. Oh, I can. Can I bring him down? Oh! Oh wow! Oh! Oh! We found it! We found something! Mr. Roylet isn't a he. He's a she! You are on the verge of using the shears to cut off your golden locks. You are on the verge of using those shears to cut away the golden locks you spawn. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Are you shitting on me? Such lush, golden hair certainly does not fit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh, no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begs is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, The answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. No, it's the article on the back page. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that the woman was really a young woman in disguise. Did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that for? Yes, it was a surprise. Naruhodo-san, you're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the fact with Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly based. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyways, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he picked out doesn't fit the facts at all. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylett is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather she, could possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it becomes the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needs to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. I present the bag. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, you think? She's very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know, I can't make sense of it. Ah, yes. I'm glad you noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its content. Oh, thank you. It pops out everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the Wait. Is this part of the investigation? Why are Russian news so hard to remember? It will appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing this diamond tiara we see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Damn, that's a lot. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem to be the director. It is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailing to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? Does not seem to be a Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, okay. So I had to... Okay. Is this one? R. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ow! Oh no! Oh, she's taking it off. She. Whoa, beautiful. She pretty. She pretty, man. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg of you, do not tell anyone. A ballerina on the run. Solved! Yay! Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there! Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unaware, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtivous glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It's a dog or I think it's a dog or like it's a pet. This woman is the ballerina and she's right in front of us. So clearly she couldn't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't adopted at all. In which case, what is the crime that this young woman is apparently committing? Ha, I can see that I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake. Seem too pleased, Mr. Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Sherlock, Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Anyways, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Really? Yes. Oh, the tiara. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara. Stop it! I've never seen anything like that. Are those real diamonds, you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on. What? Me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does this tiara looks familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. Can I present? Oh. Is there like nothing else? Yeah, it's the tiara. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, isn't not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to believe, this is an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, what do you say it? An Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old and she's running away all by herself. She must be extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point in hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is it not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I've ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your carelessness, coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furious glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open the chest is written in the books on the shelf. Huh? Are you joking? He's completely changed tact with his deduction now. I think Mr. Holmes is adapting his logic to changing circumstances, don't you think? Maybe, but why was he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all of this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh? Do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem like that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in the direction. I noticed it myself. Then, there has to be another reason why she wouldn't open the case. And it might be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she has hiding inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. It's the warning. It's a warning. I don't need any like situation, man. Yeah, rule of passage. She has a pet. There's no pet allowed. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open the case is written in the rule of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or any other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Indeed, that's the case of yours. Is something forbidden from carrying on this vessel? That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. But no weapon or any dangerous items will move on its own accord except for uranium, you know. It's exploding. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case. Damn, they look cool, man. Ooh. Is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rule of passage. A pet. It's not really. Wait, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a pet. No, it's not a cat or a dog. It's a snake. She has a snake. That's the Spangled Band. That's the Spangled Band. So clearly you aren't who you say you are. No, I'm not Grimsby Roylet. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this ship, which couldn't have been easy. This Burya is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet, to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? That variable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady naturally. More like a full set of pipes if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away from Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say it, disgust myself so no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearance completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut off my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up on the scissors in my hand and... At the precise moment we walked in through the annoying unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to anyone of this crew, your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us you must tell us in as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night. Yes, alright, I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, wasn't it something Mr. Sholmes' great deduction? It was clearly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. It's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrist. My... What the fuck? Oh shit. I have my handcuffs again. Ah, your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say. It can't be helped at this moment. Okay, thank you, Ash. Bye-bye. Anyways, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-san wrote in his diary really is. Converse. What happened last night? Did you know that someone was killed in the next cabin? Oh fuck, man. Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh. That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking. Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that really had happened. Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm really sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that has happened around me. Oh, I see. You're running away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novavich Ballet? Yes. I am traveling to Great Britain and from there I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life. You wish to forget a challenging proposition? When you have that striking tiara as a reminder? But the tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money on my own. The Novavich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I have to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of this ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board and they said that I could hide in his cabin. If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a more intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo? Me? Well, yes, of course. I think we should hear what Miss Pavlova's explanation to what conundrum, I'm not sure, but... Oh shit. So, the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case? Is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh please, don't tell any of the crew if they found my precious. Then the burly Russian men would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah! So, reassuring, Mr. Holmes. But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? Isn't it? Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Ha! You credit Russians as a land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. Huh. You two are miserably bunglers when it comes to understanding the natures of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chick. Why would it be a chicken? Really? Considering the benefits, a rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversary strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance. So, you eat your friends. I'll remember that. No. Well, it would appear that this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret, not to be revealed. Ah. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Maybe. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night when you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Beria stopped by no ports last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to aboard? Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when it was mentioned before. It was just after we asked him about when the occupants of this cabin came on board. That is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry, what was that? It is how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. Mr. Sholmes once said, I never could resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same. A genius descending from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement from the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyways, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Okay, then should we present this one? Spangok Ben. I know that she doesn't. In this diary of my friends who passed away, his diary. Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual, it reads. And hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, what looks like some sort of spangled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A spangled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentioned joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the spangled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything. Oh? Oh, fuck. Excuse me, Mr. Roy. What the fuck? That was fast? Yes, what of it? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak to you. You must come to Captain's quarter at once. Please. Alright, I will come now. What? We must leave. No. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry about yourself, Mr. Roylet. Get out! The passenger say get out, or you will want me to throw you out. It looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. What a pity. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Wow, he's strong. Man is strong. Okay. We've been doing this for 3 hours. So it's time for us to end.